The enemy always has some sort of tool or memory or situation that he uses to terrify you, even though the good times are here. There's always this haunting, nagging defiance that says, don't you relax, you're not worth it, you don't deserve it, and it's not going to last. I want to take a minute and talk to somebody who's been tied up. God has not forgotten you. He will tie you up until the time is right. I don't care how many people go ahead of you. When it's your time, it's your time. And when God gets ready to pull you, he'll pull you out. He knows exactly where you are. He knows exactly what you got tied up. And the tie is as much God as the calling is. That when God gets ready to loose you and let you go, no devil in hell can hold you back. Jesus was aware of a colt and its foal tied up. He knew exactly where it was tied up. He said, go get him. God ain't making this thing up as he goes. He had that ass and that colt tied up for years, waiting on the right time. Good God. Every little voice in you that says that God doesn't understand, just got a whooping. Because you know, if God knows where an animal is, if his eye is on the sparrow, if the hair on your head is numbered, all that stuff you're doing trying to explain to God your situation as if you needed to educate him is a waste of spit and wind. God knows exactly where you are. And if you're gonna praise him when you get loose, you gotta praise him while you're tied up. You're gonna lose everything. You won't come out of this. You're not smart enough. You're not bright enough. You waited too late. You should have started younger. Those are the kind of voices that we all live with. Those voices are the kind of voices that stop you from buying into your own life. Stop you from enjoying the good times and believing that they will last. The anxiety and the pressure and the strength that it took to get from where you were to where you are doesn't go away, so you don't really believe it's yours. You're driving it, but you don't really believe it's yours. And you're scared to relax and really rest in whatever it is or whoever it is, because everything else went away. Maybe this will go away too. We talk about faith for bad times, but you also need faith in good times. To actually believe the goodness of God is not going anywhere. To silence the voices that keep saying you'll never make it. You're about to lose everything. Fear gets in your heart. See, I know what it's like to be poor. And I know what it's like to be without, and I know what it's like not to have dinner for my kids. Returning to that the idea that that could happen is terrifying. And the enemy always has some sort of tool or memory or situation that he uses to terrify you, even though the good times are here, and the dream is there, the blessing is there, and the goodness is there. But there's always this haunting, nagging defiance that says, don't you relax, you're not worth it, you don't deserve it, and it's not going to last. Resting in what God has done is often more difficult than receiving what God has done. To rest in it, to believe that it will last, to believe that you will last, that love will last, that life will last, that good times will come, that things will be better, is difficult because of the voices. And you are what you eat, and the voices are the food that feeds your faith or fear. Because the truth of the matter, the rope isn't holding me, my divine purpose is. And when it's time for me and the stage is set, hell can't make a rope that can hold me back. When God gets ready to loose me, he'll loose me. I ain't worried about you putting your foot on me, because he'll break your foot before you can hold me down. If he wants me up, you ain't strong enough to hold me down. There's a colt and a foal tied up in the next village. What is man that thou art mindful of him, or the son of man that thou visited him? For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and yet you've crowned him with honor and glory. When I think of the fact that God's mind is full of me. And before the week is out, they will put a crown of thorns upon his head and mockingly call him the King of Jews, when in reality he is absolutely what they called him, the King of the Jews. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. But they are feeling joy while the disciples are feeling pain, because they think that Jesus is going to Jerusalem to kick butt. And the disciples know that Jesus is going to Jerusalem to die. Jesus, the Lord of glory, who commands the angels, is not riding on chariots of fire. He's riding on the back of an ass to show you that I am the God of the downtrodden. I am the God of the broken. I am the God of the oppressed. I am the God of the denied. I am the God of the forsaken. And if it's necessary, I'll humble myself down from the corridors of heaven and sit down on a donkey and walk amongst you right where you are. I'm as kin to you as this donkey is. I'm connected to you as this donkey is. In fact, when you read through the Bible, all the miracles I ever did, I used stuff you had. That God is the foundation. When God delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt, he did it as a foundation for them to remember. And all through the Old Testament, he says over and over again, am I not the God who brought you out from the Red Sea? Am I not the God who brought you out by my own hand and my strong arm? It becomes a point of reference through which you face the future, remembering what he did in the past, remembering it, putting it back together again, again, and again, and recreating it as a point of reference to fight from, to stand from, to drive from, to preach from, to teach from. What do you have to remember? I'm talking about your emotions, your will, your spirit, your fight, your drive, your tenacity, your sense of normalcy, your courage to get out of the house, your courage to get out of the bed, the courage to continue when there's a threat. Requires that there's something about God that you have to remember.